Update. Future mother-in-law, 54 female, called me, 23 female, stupid, and now I'm considering calling off the wedding. How do I approach the situation? Original post. I, 23 female, am engaged to John, 24 male. We are together for 5 years. We want to get married in July 2025. I always thought that his family liked me because we get along well. He has 2 older brothers, 26 male and 29 male, both married. Honestly, I was very excited to have them all as my in-laws. They were always kind to me. Some kind of important information. About a year ago, when I was scrolling on Instagram, I saw a profile that was kind of cringy, but in a cute way. It was an older woman's profile who shared inspirational quotes. I remember one particular post and it was something along the lines of, "Only stupid people pretend to know everything. Don't pretend, just ask." Honestly, this quote changed me in a lot of ways. Before that, I was always worried that I might embarrass myself if I don't know something, and after reading that quote, I realized that I always pretend that if I know everything, then I'll miss out on actually getting to learn about things. So I decided to change my habits and start admitting that sometimes I genuinely don't know. Someone is talking about the war in Kosovo. Okay, sure, but first, let me ask some questions so I can really understand what we're talking about. And I ask a lot of questions sometimes. I sometimes even open the Notes app and write in some questions that I later want to find answers to. These are my latest. 1. How does time work in a black hole? 2. Why do some snails have shells and others don't? 3. What food is okay for ducks? 4. How does the light bulb work? The old ones with gas inside them. 5. Does everyone see colours the same, and how can we know that? Sorry for the long introduction, but it was kind of necessary for understanding what kind of person I am. I know that sometimes I might come across as annoying. Now, onto the problem. His parents hosted a small barbecue last weekend, only for the family. So it was his mum, 54 female, dad, 59 male, brothers, 26 male, 29 male, and their wives, 27 female and 27 female. I was the last person who showed up because I hate to work late. I entered the house, and when I was walking towards the back of the house into the backyard, I heard John's mum talking about me. To be honest, she wasn't talking about me, more like mocking me. I heard her say in a high-pitched voice, "How does the sun work? Where should I put the fork? Why does nobody like me? How do I wipe my ass?" I just stood there. I had this sinking feeling. I couldn't move, so I just stood there. And I heard them all laughing. One of the wives said, "I actually don't mind her always asking questions. I think it's cute." And it made me feel hopeful that they will say something like, "Yeah, sure, we're just playing, we love that." But none of them did. Instead, the mum replied, "It's not cute, it's just stupid." After that, they laughed again. I heard John laughing. My heart kind of broke in that moment because he didn't even say one positive thing. He didn't defend me, he just laughed. I quietly turned around and left the house. I texted John that I got sick and have to stay home. Now I'm wondering, how should I approach this situation? We live together and I sleep in the guest room for now, and I use the excuse that I don't want him to get sick from being around me. I can't ignore him forever, and I can't pretend to be sick anymore because been too long. I'm not sure how to proceed. Maybe it was just a misunderstanding. I'm considering talking to them about this, but I'm also worried that they won't be honest with me. I can't marry him if he really thinks I'm stupid, but I also can't marry into a family who think so little of me. But maybe it was a joke and I shouldn't take it so seriously. I'm so torn apart, and every day I convince myself a bit more that it's okay, and sometimes we should all laugh about ourselves. Now I feel like I'm just going crazy. I would really appreciate some advice. My opinion for OP. Hey OP, I love that quote you mentioned. It sounds like you might be OCD, and if so, Does John and his family know? In any case, John and his family should respect you for who you are. Stand tall and speak your truth. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Comment 1. They were laughing at you behind your back? If he says anything along the lines of, that is how they are, get over it, it's not a big deal, you're too sensitive, anything that excuses their behavior, then he is really asking you to accept it. He is asking you to give your permission for it to continue, and your silence is your permission for it to continue. If they can't say it to your face, that tells you a world of information about the kind of people they are. If you want to see how things really are, confront them about this and see what happens. Their reactions will tell you everything you need to know about all of them and will be helpful in making such a big decision. It will show you how they deal with conflict, which will be a good indication of what you will be getting yourself into should you marry this guy. They will be part of your life for as long as you're alive. You need to know if you can tolerate being a part of his family. Comment 2. OP, if he says they were just kidding, respond with, well, I'm not spending the rest of my life being the butt of the joke, and give him the ring back. This isn't going to get any better if he does anything other than immediately apologize for everything, including not defending you. Comment 3. Tell John what you heard. Tell him of all the things you heard. His reaction hurt you the most. Tell him you cannot believe how cruel his mother was, and his laughter and failure to stand up for you was like a knife in the heart. Then ask him, why should I marry you? Someone who is comfortable laughing at me when they think I can't hear them? You know I ask questions to better understand something. The smartest person in the room is the person who knows that they don't know everything and is not afraid to ask. When I heard everyone, all I could hear was ignorance, unkindness, a lack of grace, and no love whatsoever. How very graceful of you and your family to mock someone. Frankly, I'd call off the wedding. OP's edit. There are many comments saying that they cannot stand people like me. I agree that sometimes I can be too much with the questions, but with that being said, I still think I'm within reason. I don't do it around people I just met. I rarely do it at parties or other gatherings. I usually do it with people who are close to me, who I think wouldn't judge me, or with people who specifically have knowledge about something and am willing to share it. If I'm a part of a conversation, I'm not rude and I'm not interrupting. I usually ask just 1 or 2 questions. If a discussion is about the climate change, I'm not asking about monkeys, if you know what I'm saying. I'm not a complete dumbass. I don't ask questions which generally would be considered dumb to other people. Those I just write in the notes and check answers later on the internet. I'm capable of reading, so I make good use of it. But after all, I still do ask questions a lot. Now for the update. First of all, I wanted to say thank you to people who reached out to answer my questions about black holes, snails, ducks, light bulbs, and other stuff. I would love to have you as my friends. For the other people who said I should just shut up, I don't really care if you find me annoying or hard to be around. I'm okay with that. I don't exist to please everyone. I'm just here for a good time, have my own interests, and learn. I didn't expect my post to gain so much attention, but I'm so grateful for the advice. Most of you told me to break up with him and at the very least confront him, so that's what I decided to do. You gave me a push and confidence to do it. But before I did that, I texted the wife of John's brother, the one who said she liked me asking questions. I asked if we can meet up for coffee. She said sure. We met, and I didn't see the point in pretending to her that I didn't hear their conversation. So, after some small talk, I just said, I heard you all talking about me during the barbecue. She immediately got sad and said she feels embarrassed. She explained that it wasn't a joke, wasn't out of context, that it was just mean and hurtful. She said she's sorry for not defending me more, but I said, it's okay and I understand. I said that I don't blame her for anything and just wanted to make sure that I understand the situation and see it for what it really was. And it really was laughing about me behind my back, just bullying. At this point, I just had to confront John. In my last post, so many comments were saying that he will probably try gaslighting me. And you were right. We were having dinner together for the first time since the barbecue happened. Because before I tried my best to avoid him, yes, I know, not very mature of me, but other than you guys, I don't really have a strong support system. My family and best friends are hundreds of kilometers away. I only have 2 good friends here. I was so stressed. I thought I was going to pass out. My legs were shaking and I was terrified because I knew deep down that this is the moment when my 5-year relationship goes down the drain. I looked him in the eyes and asked, "How does the sun work?" He looked confused, so I followed with, "Where should I put my fork? Why does nobody like me?" At this point, realization hit him and he started nervously laughing. I said I was there and I heard them. After the initial shock passed, he got mad. He said it's rude to eavesdrop. I said it's rude to bully people. He tried telling me that it was only a joke, that I shouldn't be so uptight, that it really was funny. I said that I didn't find it funny and went to the guests to calm down. He started panicking. He was asking me to please talk to him. He was much more apologetic and said that he will be 100% honest with me. I asked if his mother made similar comments before the barbecue. He said yes. I asked him if he ever defended me. He said he tries to. I don't know if I believe him. He told me he loves me and respects me. I don't know if I believe it either. I said that I love him too, but I need a break. He's all I've ever known. He was my first and only partner. I have no outside perspective of this. I have no experience. I need a moment to think. I will be going to my friend's house for a while to think everything through. The apartment has his name on the lease anyway. After, I gathered some of my things and left. He kept texting me non-stop. He tried calling, but I didn't respond. I am very hurt because he tried to belittle my feelings and only later, when he realized that I might break up with him, started apologizing. The next day, I decided to give him another chance to explain himself, and I came back to the apartment. He seemed very sad and tired. He said that he told his mother that I overheard them. I said, I don't care. It's his time to step up and show me that he cares. I'm not interested in an apology from his mother. I'm already done with her. I can't put up with this behavior and mocking me like we're in primary school. I saw a comment saying that probably her ego is hurting. I think it's true. She never got the chance or never had desire to have an education. She is a very good homemaker, but outside of that, she doesn't have many interests of her own. If I'm asking her about making tomato soup, she will be talking for 30 minutes, lecturing me about adding enough sugar, but not too much. She will lecture anyone who is willing to listen. But anytime someone is talking about something she's not familiar with, she gets defensive and tries to imply that nobody cares about that. And if it's not relevant to her, it shouldn't be discussed. Once again, he tried telling me that I should relax because it was only a joke, and at this point, I had enough. I took off my ring and told him that his behavior is a joke and I can't be the punchline. I told him that I wish him and his family the best and to look in the mirror to check if they really are as superior as they think they are. I said I'm going to be back with my friends soon to pick up the rest of my stuff and to not contact me again unless it's about moving my things out. And that's it, I'm done. Thank you for all the advice. Without you, I wouldn't have the confidence to leave this man. I know I deserve better. I can't be with someone who can't stand up for me, and I wouldn't be able to feel comfortable around his family, so I'm done with the relationship. I hope they will treat his next girlfriend better. Thank you again, Reddit, for advice. Story 2. I, 30 female, got really drunk at a wedding, and my 30 male boyfriend did something. Need to know if this is okay. So, I was part of a wedding party, and essentially, from the morning until the reception at 6 p.m, there was no food. I was starving all day. Got to the reception, and there was still barely enough food, so I started drinking, and ended up getting insanely plastered. My boyfriend showed up a little bit after I had gotten to the reception. We stuck around for a couple of hours, but ultimately, I ended up being way too hammered to stay there. He had to drive me home. On the way home, I threw up 3 times and couldn't eat or drink water because how out of it I was. When we got to my place, my boyfriend was quite upset. Somehow, I was able to walk my dog when we got home. Barely. think I could only take him right outside the door before sitting down on the curb. This is just context for the state I was in. When we came back to my apartment, I changed out of the dress I was wearing and put on a baggy t-shirt and immediately blacked out in bed. My memory is spacey, but at some point my boyfriend moved from sitting on the couch to lying beside me in bed, not cuddling me or checking in on me at all, just sitting upright in bed. I remember him turning me over from being on my side and now on my back. He climbed on top of me and started having sex with me. I knew what was happening and I didn't stop it, but I also don't think I had the power to do so if I wanted to because of how intoxicated I was. I do remember that I took my shirt off while we were having sex though. He ended up turning me around, continued to do what he was doing, finished and then put his clothes on and said he was going to leave. He asked if I was going to walk him out, but obviously I was so drunk I couldn't, and he just left with my door unlocked and all. Didn't even put water by my bedside. The next day, he played it off like he was upset at how drunk I was and embarrassed us as a couple. When I mentioned to him that we had sex by the end of the night, so why does it matter? He said that it's because I kept asking him to come cuddle. I probably was asking him to come and cuddle, but the flashbacks I'm having are a little bit alarming because of the state I was in. Is something wrong with this situation and what he did, or is it okay? We are in a relationship, but I'm just in my head about if this is so messed up or not. Any advice would be helpful. Thanks. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you.